discrimination upon the black people has gone too far. The discrimination to the black people is happened to the extent of the government has systematically harmed the black people. For example, they institutionalized people to, for example, like the racial profiling and etc. What is the harm of this status quo? It is harm to the extent of the black people. It's hard to pursue their education to get a better quality of education. Also, it is hard for the black people to access in the terms of increasing the number of their economy. For example, they're hard to engaging into the workplace and etc. because they are kind of have a systematic problem in the status quo. Second of all, even if there are progress in the status quo that, for example, the campaign made by the society, like Black Lives Matter and etc., we clearly state that it is not enough. First of all, we are characterized black people is the people with minimum of number in the United States, which there are considered as the minority, and the construction by the societies of white people among these black is also have a bad approach, because they think that the black people is less in number. Whenever in a psychological state, in their people, in their heart of the white people, black people is still considered is a lower class. And this is also hard. Second of all, the issues of the black people want to speak out in the societies is also less to be happen because they're afraid to take the risk. Let's say also some of the black people in this progressive era, there are already in a comfort place. They are already in a safe place. They had their home. They had their job. And this kind of characterization makes several of the black people will not integrate it or helping the disenfranchised black people in the community because of this risk that they will take if they are engaged with the particular white people. Before I jump into my argument, our clarification is first, we're not talking about the feasibility of state, how the state is going to be made, and etc., because it is something that's not debatable in this ground. Second of all, we will make an economic center, education center, and the autonomous government system, which is controlled and supervised by only black people with the support of the American government. Third of all, the fund is coming for the federal government. This money comes from taxation in order to make to ensure the survivability of the state, to make an equal start to compete with another state in America or in another place. Also, our stance in this debate, we are in the stance that black people cannot integrate anymore with white people, or in the state that the word of the black people is very, very harmful for them, and it is not productive anymore for them to live in that particular state. I'm going to bring two major arguments in this ground. First of all, how it will ensure the peace to the black people. Second of all, why is it a just policy to distribute certain amount or tax to certain group of people? First of all, in my argument, I will explain to you the concept of secessionary state and how it will exterminate the class of the boundaries in those people. First of all, we acknowledge that the current issues in the US is the existence of class in their cultural spectrum that tend to see black people in a lower place. And this thing will implicate them to the extent of their access to the right information and their benefits in the US is also going to mitigate it. In this secessionary state, we are going to explain to you that there are no class in their cultural or racial spectrum among the black people. So by this concept of state, the black people has the same chance to getting the access of information in the state because they are going to have the same place in the same status in the same ground.
Sorry?
No, thank you. Second of all, how it will. We are going to explain to you how it will touch the wide spectrum and ensure the peace to those people, because our engagement is already engaged on how they are not going to harm in a short term. First of all, I'm going to explain to you. No, thank you. I'm going to explain to you that there are geographical barriers between states. Means that they cannot directly harm by these. By these white people or any another entities in the world that they want to directly engage the black people. Second of all, the supporting system of the black community in the world is specifically increased to the extent of they are supporting the life of these black people. Why is that so? because they have the same identity with these black people that is oppressed. They are trying to showing their stances, their sounds to the world that it is the first step of the black people to ensure their civilization of the in the world that is very supportive for them. Thus, we say it is also very strategic for these black people to live peacefully in a secessionary state. Second of all, I'm going to explain to you why is it just a just policy to distribute certain amount of tax to a certain group of people. First of all, I'm going to explain to you the parameter of government in allocating their budget. Government, as a body and a head of the state, should cater all society by their policies. Why black people is need to be specified in terms of allocation, and how is it just? First of all, because the black people is oppressed, and it is the responsibility of the government to give a hand and make this community survive. Let's make a parallel example. In scholarship, you are considered you're considered oppressed by the government. Then they are allocating specific amount of budget to these oppressed people in order to make their life is sustained, because it is the responsibility of the government. This is also happening to the people of the black people that is very oppressed in the United States. That the government consider that there is no other way to maintain the survivability of these black people, and the only way to do it is to make the secessionary state. Second of all, it is also the way of government to make an equal starting point to the black people to run their country, since there is a most feasible way to done it. To make one country is going to compete with another country, it is more strategic to government to give them certain amount of money. Second of all, even if the government has a specific program to black in the status quo, or they claim that they will make a specific program in the status quo, we agree that we say that it is not enough. Why is that so? Because the way in the status quo, or the way that the program that will make by the opposition side of the house to ensure the safetyness of the black is only can be measured if the black people is going to or have the access to benefit, let's say the public service, education, and etc. Since the characterization of the black people in the US is undetectable, because they don't trust the government, they don't register themselves because they're afraid to access the community service. We say that this is the way that better towards the black people, because in that state, there are an autonomous leadership that make sure that all those particular societies trust to the government, and that is why the state is more peacefully and it is justified to done by the government. Thank you.